Hi, everyone. Welcome to Leisrealtalk. Happy Saturday. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Lay's Saturday Night Live. All right, let's get started. Well, we're only 10 days away from the year of the snake. Some people say it's a year of big changes. Others call it a year of transformation. The Chinese believe the year will be treacherous for the Chinese leader, Xi Jinping. Many hold the belief that he will step down in the next Lunar New Year, in the year of the snake. There are many signs foretelling it, and today I'll tell you about them. I'll first talk about the superstitious signs, then I'll talk about the realistic signs. But don't downplay the superstitious signs because they are also political in nature, and they are more dangerous than the realistic ones. So let's get started. First things first, superstitions. All right, so in China, there's a common belief that people have bad luck during the year corresponding to their zodiac sign. So they are more likely to face challenges at work, encounter financial difficulties, or experience disappointments in life in their zodiac years. What are the zodiac years? Well, it's when you were 12 or when you were 1, 12, 24, 36. So every 12 years, 48, 60, 70, 72, 84, 96, 108. So those are your zodiac years. So the idea that one's zodiac year is unlucky and inauspicious is deeply rooted in people's mind. Now, Xi Jinping was born in the year of the snake, so next year is his zodiac year. That's, a bad sign, right? But on top of that, the year of the snake is especially ominous for Xi Jinping because there's a belief that the CCP dynasty, the Chinese Red Communist dynasty, began with a snake and will end with a snake. Well, CCP's founding member, Mao Zedong, was born in the year of the snake, and so is his last ruler, Xi Jinping. So many people believe Xi Jinping is the last leader of the regime, and therefore they think the regime will end with him. So it's going to be a tough year for Xi because not only he is a snake, and this year is the year of the snake. But that's not the worst ominous sign. In mainland China, the main event celebrating the Lunar New Year is the iconic New Year's Eve TV gala hosted by the Chinese Central TV, CCTV. The 2025 gala logo features a double snake design that resembles a two-headed snake. So let me share the image with you. So here we go. Here's the logo. Now, in traditional Chinese culture, a two-headed snake is an ominous sign. It symbolizes death. Seeing a two-headed snake is a sign of terrible luck. There's a famous story from ancient China telling a prime minister of the Chu state killed and buried a two-headed snake as a child to prevent others from seeing it. Well, his mother, and of course the kid, got a little scared because people knew that seeing a two-headed snake was bad. So his mother reassured him that his act of bravery to protect the others, right, to prevent others from seeing the snake, that act of bravery, act of courage, would protect him from any harm. And surely it did. I mean, he became a prime minister. So Xi Jinping was born in the year of the snake, and 2025 makes his zodiac year. This is already bad, but CCTV's logo has made it even worse for Xi Jinping by having a double-headed snake for the new year. If you think this is accidental, well, then I'm telling you doesn't look like it. There is also an ominous mascot. So even more controversial is the official mascot for the New Year Gala, which is the green-headed snake that you saw on the thumbnail. When I asked Chris to design the thumbnail, he used a very vicious snake head, which looks scary. I mean, I got scared. So I said, no, Chris, let's use this cartoon look green snake head, which is even more deadly than you can imagine. But it doesn't appear threatening or scary, but it is tremendously intimidating to Xi Jinping. I'll show it to you. Where did that go? Where did that logo go? Oh, here it is. Yeah. So this sign, this green creature is this was the official mascot for the TV gala, and it was released last December. It was done by the Central Radio and TV Administration, and this creature has a name. It's called Si Shen Shen. That's the name. I mean, the name was taken from an ancient Chinese character. And then the CCTV or the TV, Radio and TV Administration claimed the green color symbolizes vitality and growth, which aligns with the gala's theme, which is endless prosperity. This year's theme is endless prosperity. However, and then in the press conference, he mentioned the Chinese word cui, or green. Now, unfortunately, the word cui, or green, has long been a sensitive word in Chinese politics because it's broken down to several components. As you can see, the word on top is the word cui. If you really look carefully, on top, there are two Xis, right? If you know Chinese character, so it's made up of two Xi of Xi Jinping. And at the bottom, it's the word zu, which means death. So literally, this word green means Xi Jinping dies twice. And that's how the Chinese interprets it. So this word has been extremely sensitive in Chinese politics because it's a direct curse on Xi Jinping. The term gained prominence during the 2019 Hong Kong protest and remains a top censored word on Chinese social media platforms in the past few years because it just implies Xi Jinping dies twice. Additionally, historically, the first character of the mascot's name, Si, can also mean end or termination. So the mascot's name and look, the color, green, right, cui, and also the name is extremely ominous for Xi Jinping. It's almost like cursing him. Well, some people may argue that 2025 is a wood snake year, according to the Chinese theory of 5 elements. So, you have 12 zodiac, you have 5 elements. So the combination makes this coming new year a wood snake year. So wood is green. And so a green snake does make sense, right? If you look at it from that perspective. Well, this logic holds under normal circumstances, but such a design is highly unacceptable in a communist state like China. Just want to show you how much the word is censored in China. I want to show you this Japanese game. It's a mobile game. The game maker faced censorship in China in 2021 because the name of one of its characters is Gao Feng Cui, and the name included the forbidden word green, cui, in it. So the game couldn't pass censorship. And then after they changed the character's name to Romanized letters, it was approved. That's how sensitive this word is in China. And given the strict censorship standards for Chinese media. Oh, here's another example. This is a Radio Free Asia report in 2021. It showed how the word praying for green, 祈翠, is a banned word. You can't pray for green because praying for green is like praying that Xi Jinping dies twice. So the expression praying for green is banned, and it's reported by Radio Free Asia. So given the strict censorship standards for China's Central TV, it's shocking that such a design for the Year of the Snake celebration is openly, it's approved. Basically, it's openly cursing Xi Jinping, right? It's just unbelievable that it's approved for the biggest TV event in China, celebrating the arrival of the Lunar New Year. Now, a more cautious approach could have been avoided if, there's so many colors they could choose. Why do they have to choose the green? So here's a design by a local TV station for their New Year celebration. So this is from Henan provincial TV. So there's a Lunar New Year celebration gala. They used a neutral color toned snake alongside a green tree branch because it's a wood snake. So they made the tree, which is wood, to signify the wood, but they made the snake itself. I should say, I get sick of using the word snake. In China, we don't like the animal snake. So people who are born they say their zodiac is baby dragon, small dragon, because they try to avoid the word snake. All right, so see, they use a neutral colored baby dragon alongside a green tree branch, right? So, it's a deliberate effort to avoid offending Xi Jinping. Why would anyone, knowing full well he was born in the year of the baby dragon, depict a green, which is a banned color in China, a green baby dragon, right? So what does this imply for Xi Jinping's power? Well, think about it. A double-headed snake logo, a mascot with an ominous name, the bold use of the color green with a building curse, raise the question about Xi Jinping's actual political standing. Has he lost control of the state propaganda? Are they deliberately cursing him? Do you think it's politically motivated superstition? Okay, now there's another, I'm not done yet talking about superstition. There's another Xi Jinping superstition that's haunting him and involves the official status of the Lunar New Year Eve. Chinese New Year's Eve, let me come back. Those of you who are familiar with Chinese culture know that Chinese New Year Eve marks the final day of the lunar calendar year, symbolizing the end of the year and the beginning of the next. As the most significant traditional holiday for the Chinese people, the Lunar New Year Eve gathers families from all corners to share a festive dinner together and spend a night of togetherness. They update each other on their life in the past year. They share their life stories. People try everything they can to get home for that New Year's Eve dinner. And it's one of the most anticipated events of the year for many Chinese, particularly children. I can say that it's the Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas combined for the Chinese. So that's how significant that New Year's Eve dinner is. Now, in 2007, so New Year's Eve, people are usually already are home. It's not their travel day. they try to arrive home before the New Year's Eve dinner. So in 2007, the Chinese government listed the New Year's Eve as an official public holiday. However, after Xi Jinping came to power in 2013, New Year's Eve was removed from the list of official holidays in 2014, but it was poorly received. So then, by 2015, New Year's Eve was reinstated as a public holiday. And then from 2016 to 2023, that was the case. However, in October 2023, the State Council issued a notice excluding New Year's Eve from the 2024 public holidays. This decision sparked widespread public dissatisfaction or anger, shall we say, with the topic, "No holiday on New Year's Eve," topped the trending list on Chinese social media. At the time, authorities defended the decision by arguing that although New Year's Eve was not officially a holiday, employers could make flexible arrangements according to their needs. And the authorities even claimed that this adjustment demonstrated thoughtful planning and meticulous design by policymakers. So you wonder, well, what's the big deal about the New Year's Eve that why don't you just give it to the people? Well, the New Year's Eve is significant because, let me show you this here. Sorry, where did it go? Oh, here it is. So the New Year's Eve in Chinese is 除夕, right? And the word or the term has a homophonic similarity with the expression 除夕, which means removal of Xi or eliminating Xi, Xi being Xi Jinping. So Lunar New Year Eve sounds like eliminating Xi or removing Xi. And that's the sensitivity behind it. That's why under Xi Jinping's rule, he does not want the day of removing Xi to be a public holiday. However, last November, Premier Li Qiang signed a State Council decree reinstating New Year's Eve as an official public holiday. People were overjoyed. So topics like New Year's Eve will always be a holiday or eliminating Xi will always be a holiday trended across Chinese social media, sparking widespread attention and sarcasm. By the way, there has been rumor that Premier Li Qiang may succeed Xi Jinping to be the next leader. I have no way to confirm that, but it seems that the premier is enjoying his newfound authority. But regardless of what the official status is, Xi Jinping absolutely doesn't want the day of his removal to be a public holiday, for sure. But now he cannot do anything about it. It's official. Okay, so I'm done with the superstitious part of my talk. Let's get serious. Let me give you the realistic signs. I just said that China's state TV network, or China's Central TV, wasn't kind to Xi Jinping at all for his upcoming Zodiac year. Well, Xinhua News Agency wasn't nice to him either. On January 13th, the president of the Supreme People's Court, Zhang Jun, hosted the National High Court President's Conference. The event's press release was posted on the Supreme Court's website, and it credited the Supreme Court's achievements to the strong leadership of Xi Jinping. It also emphasized placing learning and practicing Xi Jinping thought as the top priority for the new year. The press release on the court's website mentioned Xi Jinping's name 6 times. However, in Xinhua's official news report, Xi was mentioned only once, and the extravagant praising words of Xi Jinping weren't there. On the same day, China's chief prosecutor, Ying Yong, hosted a similar conference with the national chief prosecutors in different regions. And on Yingyong's website, this, I think it's the Supreme People's Prosecutor's official website, the event's press release mentioned Xi Jinping's name 7 times, pledging loyalty to Xi with standard cookie-cutter phrases. However, Xinhua news agency mentioned Xi Jinping only once in its report of the event. Now, both Zhang Jun and Yingyong are close allies of Xi Jinping, so their agencies' official websites are expected to be filled with pledges of loyalty to Xi. However, Xinhua News Agency's deliberate toned-down treatment of Xi in the news report is a diversion from the past practices and is certainly noteworthy. Similar trends also took place in military media outlets. On January 9th, the Ministry of Veteran Affairs official website reported on the National Conference of Directors of Veteran Affairs, Xi Jinping was mentioned 10 times with all the standard expressions of loyalty, such as the 2 establishes, the 4 consciousness, 4 confidences, and 2 safeguards. And these are just standard jargons to pledge loyalties to Xi. However, the military news outlet carried the same story with only 2 mentions of Xi Jinping. Also, during the January 2nd New Year's military training kickoff, people noted that there's a stark difference from the past. Xi Jinping was not mentioned at all. In previous years, Xi Jinping personally issued the training order to kick off the training for the year with lengthy reports highlighting his role, his requirement on the troops to pledge allegiance to him. This year, the reports from CCTV, from various military units, from the regional armed forces, omitted the mentioning of Xi Jinping. So these omissions are particularly striking given Xi's past dominance in the party and the military. So some speculate that Xi's position in the military is being challenged. The trend of diminishing personal glorification for Xi in major party media outlets, right? We've talked about Xinhua News Agency, CCTV, major PLA media outlets. So the intentional downplay of personal glorification of Xi Jinping send a clear signal that his power has waned. Okay, now let's talk about the suspicion surrounding what has happened to another general, General Wang Chunning's absence, and broader trends in military investigations. So let's talk about this guy. Well, his name is Wang Chunning, and he is the commander of the armed police force. The Central Political and Legal Work Conference was held in Beijing from January 12th to the 13th. But General Wang, being the commander of the armed police force, was absent. It was the 4th time General Wang was absent from major events, and it has sparked speculation that he's under investigation. The rumor about General Wang's trouble started when he was absent for the first time on November 21st during a national public security video conference. That's November 21st of last year. During a national public security video conference. Subsequently, Wang missed the promotion ceremony of the new Army Political Commissar, General Chen Hui, when all the generals were in attendance except him. And then he also missed the Central Commission for Discipline Inspections meeting. And last week's absence was the 4th event that he missed, and he indirectly confirmed the rumor that the general has been sacked. The 61-year-old general is far from retirement age, And he previously served as the commander of the Beijing garrison. So that was an important position. He's the son of Wang Yongming, former deputy political commissar of the Nanjing military region. So he's considered a princeling in the PLA. His downfall signals a brutal political infighting in the PLA. According to public information, since the 20th Party Congress in 2022, at least 18 senior military officers have been investigated under Xi Jinping's directives. And these include 6 generals, 上将, 9 lieutenant generals, 中将, and 3 major generals, 少将. So the 6 generals are Admiral Miao Hua from the Navy, former Defense Minister Li Shangfu from the Army, former Air Force General Ding Laihang, former commander of the Rocket Force and also former Defense Minister Wei Fenghe, second commander of the Rocket Force Zhang Yanan, and Li Yuchao, the third commander of the Rocket Force. So if General Wang Chuning is confirmed to be sacked, he will be the 7th general taken down. And he will be the head of 5th military branch taken down in the past 2 years. That's Navy, Army, Air Force, the Rocket Force, and now the Armed Police Force. In addition, Xi Jinping has sacked, like I said, 9 lieutenant generals and 3 major generals. So far, only the expulsions of the two defense ministers and the commander of the Rocket Force and his chief of staff were announced. For the remaining 14 generals, there has been no disclosure about the timing of their investigations, the nature of their violations, or whether they have been expelled from the party or referred for judicial review. All 18 generals were appointed and promoted by Xi Jinping. So this raises questions about the loyalty of his appointees in the military. Last but not least, let's talk about his most loyal follower, his political housekeeper in the party, Politburo Standing Committee member, and the man whom the Trump team wants to meet, Cai Qi. So Cai Qi has been the target for criticism. Now we know Xi Jinping isn't coming to Trump's inauguration. Instead, he's sending the VP, Han Zheng, who doesn't hold much political clout anymore and is only a figurehead, right? The Trump team asked, according to Wall Street Journal, I think, the Trump team asked for Cai Qi. They asked to meet with Cai Qi. I think the Trump team wants to get a better feel of Xi Jinping's real thinking because Cai it is the closest to him, right? But Xi Jinping didn't send Cai Qi. Well, it probably because the man isn't as powerful as before or is a little in trouble. So on January 9th, the Politburo Standing Committee held an all-day meeting to hear work from National People's Congress, the State Council, the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, the Supreme People's Court, as well as work report from the Central Secretariat. The Central Secretariat is headed by Cai Qi, right? And then the meeting's communique affirmed the work of Zhao Leji, chairman of the National People's Congress, Li Qiang, premier of the State Council, and Wang Huning, chairman of the CPPCC. However, Cai Qi, who is the head of the Central Secretariat, faced explicit criticism for his performance. A comparison of Xinhua's coverage of this year's meeting with last year's revealed changes in the language used to describe Cai Qi's work at the Central Secretariat. In last year's communique, the Secretariat was described as proactive in its actions, conscientious in fulfilling its duties, and effective in its extensive work. These three adjectives are absent this year. The lack of such affirmations makes it obvious that his work fell short of expectations and has failed to earn recognition. The final paragraph of this year's communique underscores the critique by emphasizing that the Central Secretariat must, quote, enhance its political capabilities, focus on implementing key tasks, strictly strengthen its self-discipline, and complete all tasks assigned by the party Central Committee with high quality in the new year. So the subtext here points to deficiencies in Cai Qi's political capabilities, his failure to implement key tasks, and his substandard work quality, right? So the communique used the meeting as the subject in its report. So it says things like the meeting believed, the meeting emphasized. They didn't use Xi Jinping as the subject. So the communique, is written in a way that makes people believe that these opinions came from the group hosting the meeting collectively, or these opinions came from the entire body of the 7 Politburo Standing Committee, not Xi Jinping alone. So it's very obvious. This shift highlights that the criticism of Cai Qi was presented as a collective decision by the Politburo Standing Committee and not Xi Jinping's opinion alone. So this rare public critique of the Central Secretariat reflects internal criticism or dissatisfaction towards Cai Qi from the rest of the leadership. We know all of Cai's power came from Xi Jinping. The only reason he was made powerful because Xi Jinping trusts him. But this open critique of his work or him is a direct reflection of Cai's weakened position in the Politburo Standing Committee, as well as Xi Jinping's weakened power or waned power in the leadership. So with that, I wrap up the reasons or the signs why people think Xi Jinping is likely to step down in the year of the snake, both from a superstitious point of view and also from a realistic point of view, because he is not very powerful at this moment. All right, that's all. Let's see. Okay. I hope this is helpful. I see a colorful banner from Sir Humphrey. Oh, hi, nice to hear from you, sir. Hi, Lei. It's a great pleasure to sit back on a Sunday afternoon. Wow, it's already a Sunday afternoon. Where are you Sunday afternoon? That's what, Australia? That's Australia, isn't it? Yeah. Watch the presentation, learn about Chinese culture, and see what questions people come up with. Well, thank you very much, sir. I'm so happy you're able to join us. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, let me see questions. Oh, here's another. A vegan T-Rex. Thank you for the super sticker. Wow, there's another one. Daniel McGinnis. Thank you. I have many fans in Canada and Australia. Thank you. Oh, here's a question. No question? I want to do a survey. Chris, are you able to pull a survey? I want to understand. What do you think the CCTV logo design? Let me come back. Do you think that the deliberate mention or deliberate use of the green snake as its logo, and then all of that, is that deliberate or that's accidental? Tell me what you think. Vote 1 if you think it's deliberate. Vote 2 if you think it's accidental. Let's see what people say. Because I can't convince myself that it's accidental. I mean, why would people be so ignorant to make that seriously dangerous political mistake, right? Oh, everyone says 1. Because, I mean, it's not like it's a new, I mean, it has been a banned word. Officially, it's a banned word. The word cui, praying for green, is banned. So why would they have a green? Oh, here Dory Co thinks it's 2. Oh, we have some 2s. Okay, okay, all right, some 1s. All right, great. Okay, excellent. Wow, 80% 1 and 20% 2s. Okay, Code Monkey. Sound red note be banned like TikTok? Should red note be banned like TikTok? You can't ban red note because it's in China, right? Because people access it's hosted in China. So how can you ban it? I mean, if people want to use the Chinese, unless, I mean, technically you could still ban it, but I think it's a wonderful thing. I think it's a wonderful thing to let Americans interact with the Chinese citizens for a while to see what happens. I think the Chinese government is more fearful of an influx of American citizens, netizens, on their platform. But if they are able to separate, if they're able to divide the Chinese traffic from the American traffic, then it's not a good thing. But if the American users can directly interact and interface with the Chinese, that's wonderful. I think it's a wonderful thing. It's like punching a hole in the Chinese firewall. Why not? Okay, mint creative gifts and ideas. Like, I'm skeptical CCP will fully be condemned by those pro-CCP countries who harbor a lot CCP elitists in their countries. Wouldn't their evil influences still be there after CCP collapses? After CCP collapses, people will feel the pain. And it would be totally stupid of them if they still embellish the regime. After CCP collapses, the crime that the regime has committed will be heard loud and clear. So by that time, those elitists will be scared to be on the side of the CCP. Trust me, that will happen. Nihitha. I think CCP has written its fate by its own hands. Compared to other presidents, Xi Jinping, he was born and brought up under CCP rule, and he's obsessed with CCP and goes extreme for it. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, growing up, he has been brainwashed by the CCP's propaganda. Leaders like Deng Xiaoping, Deng Xiaoping even studied in France, right? So they still had traditional education as a young boy. I mean, they were educated in the West. But the generation of Xi Jinping's generation, they were born in China, in Red China, and grew up during the Cultural Revolution. So they don't know what they don't know. To his predecessors, it was a conscious choice. They were fully aware of what the outside world is all about, and yet they choose communist ideology. But for people like Xi Jinping, he doesn't understand. The only thing he knows is the communist ideology, because that's the only thing he has been exposed to. So from that perspective, it's sad. It's pathetic. All right. Here's a question. People say, "What's your animal sign?" If you don't mind me ask. 恭喜发财. I'm a goat, a sheep, a goat or sheep. Yeah, yang. I'm harmless, completely harmless. Yeah. Yep. All right. Sheep. Yeah, I'm a sheep. Okay. Any restriction? That's all. That's all the questions I have. Oh, Nick Fury. Have you heard the rich Rome family clan fled to Canada recently? Yes. There was their mover disclosed their destination. The movers who were hired to pack up their items at home leaked the information that the Rome family fled. That's significant because they didn't flee even during Mao's years. They stayed in China during Mao's years. The family was so wealthy that they provided the cars, the motorcade for Mao when he on like October 1st, 1949, on the day that they announced the founding of the PRC. The Rome family provided, I think, a 10-car motorcade for the leaders. I mean, so they're very wealthy. So they stayed in China, but now they're leaving. Peter said, "Oh, we're the same. We're a goat." Yes. Okay, good, good. Oh, other people say snakes all the way. I have not known a person in my life who's born in the year of the snake. No, I have not. I'm very fortunate. I'm not saying people who are born in the year of snakes are not good. I'm not saying that, but I just haven't. Almost everyone in my family are what I call edible animals. You know, roosters, cows, sheep, lamb, pigs. Yeah, and rabbits. I'm not sure if rabbits are edible, but uh, I suppose they can be. Um, all right. Here's a question that Chris forwarded from Crotchety Elder. Do you think Sino-American relations will improve under Trump, or we will get another trade war? Oh, it's not going to improve. Did you hear the speech from our new Secretary of State at his confirmation hearing, Mark Rubio? He's nailed it. He's head on. He said it perfectly. He described Sino-U.S. relations very well. So I think Trump is trying to play the good cop bad cop game with the CCP. His his cabinet members are all playing the bad cop, and he's playing the good cop. I think that's his game. All right. Brian Cobb. Well, thank you, Brian Lay. Please consider presentation on Trump's China policy in general and Secretary of State nominee Mark Rubio in particular. Happy New Year. 恭喜发财. That was actually the plan for today. I was going to talk about that. And then as I was looking into, because part of that, I want to kind of give you the background, what Trump and Mark Rubio will be dealing with. As I look into what's happening on the Chinese side, I got so much information, so I have to talk about the year of the snake before I get into his policy. That's certainly on my list to do. So it's noted. Thank you. Okay, here's a question from Pinoy. Epic history. Are restrictions in Hong Kong the same as in China? What kind of restrictions? Well, Hong Kong supposedly is doesn't have as much restrictions as China, but it's I mean, but it's gradually becoming like China. It's becoming more and more like China. But there's still a difference. I think people in Hong Kong do have more freedom, but it's leaving them. Okay. I'm at the bottom of the questions. That seems to be all. Oh, here, Julius. I'm the year of the horse, and I'm also a half horse. Okay. All right. Good. All kinds of signs. All right. My mom, Cheryl, Liao. My mom is snake. It's like having a Bond villain for a mom. I wonder why the Chinese include snake in the 12 zodiac animals. I have no idea. I mean, the rest are all harmless animals. How could they get along with a snake? I mean, there's the dragon, of course, but dragon is a good animal in the Chinese culture. I just don't understand how the snake got in there. Anyways, dragons are okay. Yeah, dragons. Oh, they're good. Yeah, yeah. Because the Chinese call themselves the descendants of dragons. Yeah. Tigers are not, but tigers are harmless. They're big cats. Okay, so they have year of the ox. All right, from here, from late merge, who's gonna replace Winnie the Pooh? Winnie the Pooh. That's a program in itself. I have been watching that. There have been, I mean, Xi Jinping is under so much pressure to come up with heir to succeed him, but it's not easy. That's a whole subject in itself. Maybe I'll do it next weekend. There have been so many rumors, theories, and speculations. Some are legitimate. Some are, I think, just rumors. I think he has no heir. It's impossible for Xi Jinping to establish an heir, because the moment someone is established as the legitimate heir, he's in trouble, because everyone will try to destroy him. He's the target of attention, and this attention can kill him. So Xi Jinping cannot have, even if he has someone that he has in mind who he wants to replace him, he has to keep that a secret to himself, because he cannot identify that person. That just shows you how destructive the CCP system is. Yeah, so he can. And some people say maybe he'll have his wife or his daughter or his son-in-law to be his heir. So there are all kinds of theories out there. We'll talk about it at some point. All right, that's all for today. Okay. Oh, Text Panda. All are all edible in the zodiac? Dragons are not. Oh no, not all animals. No, dragons are not. Tigers are not. I'm saying that my people in my family, in my life, we're all harmless animals. We're all edible animals, like sheep, cows, roosters, pigs. Yeah, those are the people around me. So we're like harmless. All right, that's all for tonight. But dragons, tigers are not edible. Rabbits are not. All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you.